So Kassadin and I, we go way back. All the way back to Season 1 actually. When I first started playing Ranked in League of Legends, Kassadin was fucking busted. But not to the point of which he was banned very regularly. In my first 10 placement games that I ever played in League, I managed to get Kassadin 8 times out of the 10. And I won every single game that I got him. Now fast forward 6 years, Kassadin is actually coming back into play a little bit in a pretty big way. Much to my actual dismay though, because Kassadin is a fuck. Some of you guys may not even really know too much about Kassadin, purely because he's just not seen a lot of play at all for quite a few years. I mean, it has been years since I even saw him in a game up until a few weeks ago. But from that point on, he has been pretty rife in my games. Being a slippery, tentacle fuck just flying across the map, silencing and shielding himself like a prick. Honestly, he was a scourge, constantly being banned in the early seasons of League of Legends because of how horrible he was to play against. Now, when the main people that went mid were either AP casters or AD carries, if you were Ashe mid back in the day, the last fucking thing that you ever wanted to see on the enemy team was a Kassadin. His silence on his Q was huge, he was too jumpy to even catch properly, he could jump into you, silence you, deal a bajillion damage, and then jump away before you could even react. And we didn't have any of those fancy AD mid characters like Zed, Jace, or Talon to deal with fucks like him. You know, you kids, you have it easy. You'll never know my struggle. Now fast forward to Season 7, and his silence, it still exists, but he has had some changes to his kit which make him a little bit more manageable with the correct characters. Still, if you're an AP caster, God help you playing against Kassadin still. Now if you're a Katarina main, you might as well start digging your own grave now, because Kassadin is going to fucking teleport 40 feet into the air and hit you with the fucking ultimate wombo combo dingle dongle Michael Jordan chaos dunk straight into your fucking 6 foot deep wanking chariot. So let's talk Kassadin. What exactly makes him annoying to deal with in lane? Well, his passive is Void Stone, and all it does is give him 15% reduced magic damage, making playing an AP caster against this fella even worse of an idea than I've already made it sound. On top of that, the passive gives him a permanent ghosted ability, allowing him to walk through minions, so he will have absolutely zero issues getting into minions to CS, or walking through minions like the fucking T-1000 from Terminator to get to you. No minion blocking for this motherfucker. He just phases through everything like he is an ethereal being made of light with no corporeal form. It doesn't sound horrible, but you can just say that it's no big deal after you experience minion blocking like this. But now anyway, on to Kassadin's Q, the spell that will be slapping you across the face like your big brother's big pair of sweaty balls that are teabagging you mercilessly. It's called Null Sphere, and it's pretty simple. It's a point and click ability that shoots a purple blob of void energy at the enemy. It deals magic damage, big whoop, not that big a deal. Oh, but it has a couple extra little tweaks. It has a micro silence, which is nowhere near as OP as how Kassadin used to be played. This boy used to have like a 1.5 second silence on a 10-second cooldown back in the day, but this micro silence is absolutely perfect for dealing with champions that require channeling. You want a TP bot lane? Silence. You want to exist as Katarina? Use your ultimate? You're getting silenced. It's gonna be interrupted. Fiddlesticks ulti? Interrupted. Anivia ulti? Interrupted. There are genuinely countless champions that you can completely ruin the day of with this ability in one way or another. On top of that, it also gives Kassadin a shield that can absorb any form of magic damage for 1.5 seconds. Kassadin is the perfect anti-mage in this game. This spell is the reason why he fares so well against AP mids, and he doesn't really do all that well against AD champions like Talon, because he's only able to mitigate magic damage. Now, being able to mitigate over 200 magic damage by level 9 on a 9-second cooldown, whilst also fucking silencing and dealing a shitload of damage, is not something you want to fuck with ever. The shield scales with your AP as well, so by the end of the game, with 40% cooldown reduction and maybe 700 AP, you're going to be shielding almost 400 health on a 5.5 second cooldown. Can you see why this might be a bit of a problem if you are playing certain characters? Katarina. This is a single spell that he has, and from the description that I just gave you, it sounds like he can pretty much destroy you with that ability alone. Now, Netherblade is his W, and it's an ability that basically makes Lichbane a must-buy. This ability can do a truckload of damage, like straight up, like just fucking tons of damage. Like take a truck, load it with like, I don't know, 70 freaks, that many damage. It's lots. It's a basic attack empowerment that resets Kassadin's auto attack timer. As well as that, it increases the range slightly and does a fuckload of damage in the process. You have a Sheen on top of that, and it's basically like hitting with the Sheen twice at the same time. With a low cooldown and a massive 70% AP scaling, you can be smashing the shit out of people for 600 to 700 damage easily every 7 seconds. As well as that, it has a hilarious passive that your attacks passively do extra damage, which also scales with your AP. Albeit only 10% of your AP, you'll pretty much be doing about as much auto attack damage as an Ashe with 6 Bloodthirsters. I'll take a pound of damage. That's a lot of damage. That'll be $4, baby! You want fries with that? It also gives you back up to 8% of your maximum mana when you use it, and it has no mana cost itself, which is which is nice. This combined with the previous spells I've listed, I'm sure it will be leaving all you potential Kassadin mains like this. So, Force Pulse is his E, and it's an AoE slow that you shoot out in a cone. It has a really low cooldown, but the stipulation for using it is that Kassadin needs to charge this ability by having champions nearby him use spells. So when he hits 6 charges of this spell, he can finally cast it, dealing a lot of damage and slowing for up to 90% in the process, in a pretty long and a pretty wide cone. Long and wide. It's pretty similar to another part of me that's long and wide. If you catch my drift. So the benefit of this is, if you have a team that use a lot of abilities in quick succession, or hell, if the enemy uses a lot of abilities in quick succession, this spell is very easy to utilize, and it is certainly worth utilizing because this spell is the one that will help you peel for yourself. If there's a big, spooky, angry Renekton flinging his reptile dick towards your tight boy pussy, slam him with an E, and he'll slow the fuck down long enough for you to actually compose your thoughts and use your next spell. Now this spell is the next one, and you know what spell it is? It's this spell. The spell. Riftwalk, Kassadin's ultimate. So upon cast, Kassadin blinks to the target location, dealing magic damage in an AoE around himself upon landing. The cooldown for this is minuscule. It starts at 6 seconds and ends up at 2 seconds without any cooldown reduction to level 16. The only thing that actually stops this fucking creature flying around the map is the penalty that he receives for using it many times in succession. And even then, it's difficult to even call it a penalty because of what I'm about to explain to you. So Kassadin's cost increases with each cast of Riftwalk up to 4 times. So it starts at 50 mana, then 100, then 200, 400, and then it caps at 800 per cast until the stacks disappear after 15 seconds. But even with that ball-breaking amount of mana that would make even a 6 Archangel Staff Rise weep, the damage increases too, meaning that if you so much as happen to have enough mana to actually cast the 800 mana jump, and you have a lot of AP, the amount of damage that you're going to be doing when you land at your destination is enough to make the fucking destruction of Megaton in Fallout 3 look like Kassadin accidentally leaned the wrong way when he was farting. This spell is a spell that allows him to slip in and out of teamfights, ambush people from over walls, escape with barely any HP, burst people's flashes trying to chase him, dodge ulties, hop over skill shots, sacrifice his daughter to avoid paying child support. It's an ability that on such a low cooldown is not something any champion should have. Ever. Kassadin might just be the ultimate anti-mage in League of Legends. It's almost as if Riot Games created Katarina. They were nodding, they were really happy with what they did. Then they just went back into the design room and they just wrote "fuck Katarina" on a massive whiteboard and then just worked from there to create the monstrosity that is Kassadin. Now Kassadin, he did do me well back in the day, back in Season 1, but I played him out of necessity because ranked was no man's land. It was a war zone and you did what you could to stay alive and to stay above bronze. Now today, he's not quite what he used to be, but if you're as unlucky as to encounter him in your solo queue games, just pray that you've already locked in an AD mid, or God help your soul. Thank you for watching. Well guys, that was another Why I Hate. thank you very much for watching another one. If you did enjoy this, I would really love if you got to the end of the video to smash that mother freaking like button. And if you're new to the channel as well, and this is the first video you've seen of me, to subscribe, all that good stuff. If you want to suggest the next Why I Hate down below, I would really appreciate that, because I honestly didn't know which one to do for today, so I just picked a character that I'd been seeing a lot in solo queue. But on top of that as well, I've been streaming a lot on twitch.tv/RossBoomsocks. There'll be a link in the description if you want to go check that out and subscribe to me there, or just follow me there. Apparently that's different. But yeah, we're kicking back into doing some more videos per week, so if you haven't checked out the week of videos that I've done before, there'll be cards at the top right that you can click on to check them out as well. Just go on my channel, check out all the stuff you might have missed, and I'll be seeing you for another Why I Hate next week, but I might see you tomorrow as well. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one. See you later.